Hello, welcome to myself, Max MacGillivray from Beanstalk. Julie, could you say hello to everyone, please?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be here.
Actually, that's a good point. Should we we'll do it with the other experts when we bring them in? But I'm stood in the UK, and it's 4 o'clock my time, so 1600 hours. Julie, where are you? What's the time with you, please?
I'm here based in Oregon in the US, and it's 8 a.m. in the morning.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. What does the O stand for? Oh my crikey! It's early. So really pleased to have Julie on. Julie and her other board members. They have created this amazing initiative called Global Women Fresh. And I normally talk about Global Women Fresh and give everyone a bit of an understanding, but because we've got Julie on today, I'm going to hand it over to Julie. Julie, can you tell us about Global Women Fresh and the fundamental difference that you're making to fresh produce internationally, please?
Sure. So Global Women Fresh is an organization, a non-for-profit that was created to inspire, connect, and connect women around the world in the produce business. And then when we started it 3 years ago, we started it with the mission of really focusing a little bit more about the executive director level management. And then we thought, my God, we have such a great opportunity to really connect all the supply chain. So really think about the women who work all the way from the farm to the table. Yeah. And that's what we've been doing for the last three years. We have more than 1,000 members in our organization. We've been growing dramatically in the last 2 years. And the topic that we're going to be talking today, social impact, it's one that is very important in our organization. When we see the statistics and the data around the world, the women who are working at the farm level, and all of the different aspects that are disrupting the market, and how companies in the private sector can be part of the solution of some of those problems that we're having. I think that's one of the things that get me excited in the morning and really continue to work for Global Women Fresh. And I think that all of the women we've invited today have a little piece of that story. I think it's critical that other companies out there listen to the podcast and get inspired, and very excited to be here. And thank you, Max, for giving us the opportunity to be here.
No problem. I can't remember how long we've been running. It must be coming up to 8-9 months since we started this monthly broadcast with Global Women Fresh, and we hope through our Beanstalk platforms that we've been able to make a little bit of a difference. But Julie, I was thinking about this earlier. I do feel that I feel that we've got to be a little bit critical of our sector. I think the fresh produce sector internationally, in some areas, is so sophisticated in terms of variety development, in terms of supply chain, in terms of the enormous success that everyone has managed to create out of the pandemic. But I'm still a bit disappointed, embarrassed in some respects as to how we're not creating more diversity within the sector. We were asking in our office, how many businesses do we know that have got a really good match of diversity within their business? And we found it very difficult to actually nominate companies that are sort of 50-50. And I know it's a really nice to have, but I do think that we are not adopting as quickly as we can within the fresh produce sector. But then again, we are a bit like an oil tanker, that everything is changing, and our sector needs to change as well. And again, that's why I think that having the likes of you, Julie, and your other board members is so important, because you can create that change. But we also need to be a little bit aggressive and get those big corporates to hop on board and to sponsor you. And everyone I meet, and I know that everyone else that's been on these broadcasts, that's saying to all of their contacts, you must join Global Women Fresh. Julie, would you agree with me?
Absolutely, 100%. When you think about it, 50% of the world we're ultimately women. We are 80-90% of the purchasing decision that happens at the store level. It's happening because of women. We're the ones who are going to the stores, making the choices of how do we feed our families, our kids, and so on. So yes, it is time for companies and governments and countries to really pay attention to make sure that women are fully integrated in the supply chain, and that's why we created a Global Women Fresh, and it's the exciting part of the discussion. And I think that we're just going to continue to go after the goal of getting women in higher positions, to getting women to have better rights in different countries. And yeah, that's what we're here for.
Okay, and also everyone's the connections that the likes of Global Women Fresh can bring you. I didn't look to create a relationship with Global Women Fresh for that, but they very kindly introduced us to the likes of the ITC, International Trade Centre, She Trades, United Nations. We got a fabulous relationship going on with India, with an amazing lady, Nina Patel, and Fresh Express in India. We're also talking to Colombia now through Julie, which we're really excited about. So it's not just you've got to wave a banner to do good. It's actually very good networking as well because of the network that they've got. So Julie, at this point, should we bring in all of our other experts and just to really emphasize the level of connections that you've got and also the spread that Global Women Fresh have got internationally? Should we do that, Julie?
Absolutely, bring them on.
Team, ladies, would you all come in, please? I love this, Julie. I love this, but it's so exciting to see everyone come in, especially when we look at where everyone is from. So Julie, I'm just going to get. I love this time check. So, Julie, can you just reiterate again where you're from and what the time zone is and what your temperature is? Julie, you go first.
So I'm in Oregon, and it's almost 100 degrees here, and it's 8 a.m. in the morning.
Fantastic. Right, next we are going to go to Jennie Coleman. Where are you and what is the temperature and who are you representing, please?
Good morning. I'm Jennie Coleman. I'm the president of Equifruit. I'm coming to you from Montreal in Canada. It's 11 a.m. here and it's a cool 13 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's a lovely day. And Equifruit is a Canadian importer and marketer of fair trade fruit and mostly bananas.
Bananas, fantastic. Jennie, thank you. So we've gone from America to Canada. Lina, where are you, please? And what is your temperature and who are you representing, please?
Hi, Max. How are you? Hi, everyone. I'm located in the beautiful country of Colombia, in the city of Medellin. And we have an amazing 25, 26 degrees Celsius.
Wow. And tell us a little bit about your business, please.
Okay, so I work as the Chief Human Resources Officer of Cartama, a company that is dedicated to produce and develop the avocado hass industry in Colombia.
Wow, fantastic. And I love what you said earlier in our green room, that Colombia is perfect. What you could put that on the slogan for the tourist board. Colombia is perfect. And Martha, over to you, please. Where are you? What is the temperature and who are you representing, please?
Hello, good morning. I am in Mexico City. Here the weather is also beautiful as in Colombia. We have about 20 degrees centigrade. I am the director of a NGO, Mexican NGO, and our mission is to facilitate the human, social, and economic development in the population. And we work in different areas of education, health, and productivity and citizenship.
Fantastic. And Martha, is Mexico beautiful as well?
Well, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. We have all kinds of fruits and vegetables and wonderful food.
Excellent. Cool. Julie, I'm having trouble keeping up. We've gone from America to Canada to Colombia to Mexico. Where should we go next? I know. Let's go to Eunice in Kenya.
Hi everybody. My name is Eunice Mutua from Kenya, and it's 19 degrees Celsius here in Kenya. Very beautiful country in Africa, and I lead the organization called Select Fresh Produce Kenya Limited, an exporter organization exporting avocado, pineapple, sweet potato from Kenya into the world. It's a pleasure to be part of this conversation today. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Eunice, can you just confirm that Kenya is also beautiful?
It is amazingly beautiful, and you are all welcome to Kenya.
Excellent. Fantastic. And last but not least, Barbara, we need to go to Europe now. We need to go to one of Europe's most attractive countries. Barbara, would you happen to be in Spain?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm from Spain. I'm in Madrid. The weather is not really good. It's cloudy today, so I don't know why summer started yesterday, because today is not good, the weather. I'm journalist of Siete Agro Marketing, and I represent my director, Giselle Falcon, that he couldn't stay here because he had a busy day.
No problem. We're very blessed to have you, Barbara. So thank you. And just to tell everyone, I am in the UK, and it's currently 16 degrees, and it's a bit overcrowded here. So I'm a bit confused as to whether I should go to Colombia, Canada, Mexico, Kenya. Well, we'll find out as we go. So everyone, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a short deep dive interview with each of our experts. And then we're going to have a question and answer session on this subject, being social impact, with a focus on gender equality. Can it be achieved? So if you've got any questions, feel free to send them in, or if you've got my numbers, feel free to WhatsApp. So if it's okay, everyone, could everyone turn off their videos apart from Jennie? Jennie and I are going to go first, so we can find out a little bit more about Equifruit, and everyone else, just get ready to turn your videos as we come round to you. So Jennie, really excited to have the conversation with you, and we've been having a little bit of a chit chat on LinkedIn, and I haven't told Julie yet, but what we're really keen to do at a later point is have a longer broadcast with you, because of what Equifruit does. But not to spoil that conversation, just can you give us a bit of an understanding as to your background, and also to Equifruit, please?
Sure. Thank you, Max. It's lovely to be here. So I've been involved in the produce industry since 2013, when I bought this company, which was called Equicosta at the time. I had this very naive idea that fruit was sort of fun, and it turns out that a fruit business is actually really stressful. Yeah. However, if you don't try things in life, you're never going to get anywhere. And here we are 8 years later, and I love the business that I'm in. We're really a niche player. We are focused solely on fair trade produce. And as I said earlier, that's mostly bananas. We're a team of 8, 7 of whom are women. So we're a real outlier in the produce business. And, it's sort of funny, because often we think about diversity being a little bit more complex than just the gender split. But in our team, the man in our team is our diversity.
Excellent.
Equifruit works with 2 cooperatives of small producers, one in Ecuador and the other in Peru. We've done mostly organic fair trade bananas. We have a retail partner that started a conventional fair trade banana program earlier this year. And we have our eye on global fair trade banana domination. In our books, we won't rest until we've changed mindsets, Canadian mindsets or North American mindsets, about the way they buy their bananas. We want people to think about where their fruit has come from, and who has produced them, and under what conditions. And we hope that those are fair conditions for growers and plantation workers.
Fantastic. So do you think there's, now excuse my naivety, do you think there's an issue within Canada that people aren't aware of where the likes of bananas are being sourced from and how they're being sourced? Because in the UK we're getting better. That there's more, slightly, it's not perfect, but there's more of an understanding. Is this a big issue, that educational piece within Canada?
It's still a big issue, and we look to the UK, which has 1 out of 3 bananas is fair trade, and here we're around 1% of the market. Wow. So we still have a lot of work to do. You use the word education. We, when we're building relationships with buyers at retailers, we do a lot of education. There's, the banana industry has been very closely held by a number of large companies. The buyers we're working with have only ever worked with these companies. And here comes Equifruit, a team of women who are still selling a commodity product, the banana, but at a higher price because of the fair trade standards that we're respecting, which of course cover the cost of sustainable production and the fair trade social premium, an additional amount for community investment. So we do a lot of education at the buyer level, but we are also, though we're a B2B company, we're selling to supermarkets and distributors, we're also trying to create a consumer brand. And so we're also speaking directly to consumers. We've done a big rebranding in the last year. We have very fun, humorous banding around our organic bananas, very pointed point of sale material that in very, very simple terms explains why fair trade is important. And our tagline is that Equifruit is the only banana you should buy. And we want people to look at that and say, well, why is that the case? Go to our website, equifruit.com, go to our social media. We're killing it on Instagram.
Excellent.
And then have people say, well, the reasons that Equifruit is the only banana you should buy is that they're unfortunately there's terrible exploitation in the banana industry, and Equifruit's fair trade banana is an alternative to that. And
Jennie, that's fantastic, especially when you think of, if this was a coffee, let's not name a brand, but if it was a coffee in the UK, I'd be paying £3, so whatever that is in Canadian dollars. And you look at the price, I don't have a banana, so that's my token banana. And if you look at the price of a banana, it's next to nothing. So paying a little bit more for your banana, knowing the good it's going to do is a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. It is such a small increase here for us at retail in Canada that makes such an enormous difference at origin. Only 4% of the global export banana market is being sold on fair trade terms, and we want to increase that number.
And Jennie, as a quote I often bring out, 4 or 5 years ago, there was a major conference in the UK. It's called the City Food Lecture, and it's attended by about 500 people. And we had I can't remember his name, but it was the vice president for PepsiCo for the UK and Europe attended. And there's a chap that I'm sure a number of you will know, Chris White of Market Intelligence, who runs Eurofruit and Fresh Produce Journals, heavily involved with Fresh Plaza. And when we got to the questions, Chris bravely stood up and said, why doesn't PepsiCo invest in bananas? And there's this VP retorted back, when you show me how to make money out of bananas, we'll invest in bananas. And there's one of the fundamental issues, and it's the big issue about fresh produce, that's this race to the bottom of just thinking that if you undercut your competitor, that you'll be able to get into that retail sector. But actually the taste of the product and the good that you're doing, and bananas are so much better than a can of sugary pop, that actually the customer should be paying a little bit more for that privilege, especially if they're doing good, as you are with your business. So what's your dream? What's your realistic dream? Where do you want Equifruit to be in the next 3 to 5 years, please?
We want fair trade bananas to be mainstream in Canada. And so we have a magic container number, which I won't reveal, which accounts for about 16% of the market. We have done research where if you have achieved that level of market penetration, you can say that people know well enough what your product is, would have a much better understanding of fair trade. And we want to get fair trade bananas, Equifruit's fair trade bananas, out of smaller niche retailers, and that's happening right now, and into something where you don't just have to be in a sort of a chic downtown urban market in order to make an ethical choice in the produce department of your grocery store.
Well done. I'm going to tell every Canadian I know to buy your fruit, and also to look at your website. Well, your website is cracking. One of the best fresh produce websites I've seen, and ditto your Instagram. So stay there. Lina, can you come in, please? Because we're going to swap over to yourself. Jennie, just on the social media side, have you found that? Jennie, stay in. Don't go.
I didn't know whether I should go to the backstage.
Jennie, have you found the social media side great, engaging? Have you all enjoyed it?
Yeah, we're having a great time. We're having a really great time. And in this new rebranding, we've sort of found our voice. We have a jagged banana who is the sort of the voice of our brand. We call that banana the only banana. So if you go to our Twitter feed, it's that banana's voice. And that banana can say all sorts of things that I might not say, but she gives us the ability to be a little bit more cheeky than we might be in real life. So we're having a really good time. Go have a look. It's super fun at Equifruit.
Excellent.
Yeah,
and as I said, if I'm sure Julia will allow me. We'll get you on to do a longer interview so we can tell the world even more so about Equifruit. Jennie, thank you very much. Lina, Lina, do you enjoy bananas? I love bananas.
Of course, I love bananas. And it was, hearing you out, Jennie, I think that you touched some very important points about changing the mindset of the consumer, because I think the companies are, already engaging in social impact and shared value. But I think that we also need to change that mindset from our consumers. So it's a really great comment.
So Jennie, you go now. This is the bit, Jennie, where you go. God, she just wouldn't go, Lina. She's fantastic. She just wouldn't go. So Lina, I reckon you got the best job, and in some respects the worst job in the world, in the respect of being human resources officer for such an incredible business. That we always use an expression that employing people is the best thing about running a business, and employing people is the worst thing about running a business. But let's major on your business. I know you gave us a little bit of an intro when we started, but can you give us even more so? Can you tell us about your business and what it grows, what it produces, and where you sell your products, please?
Of course, Max. Thank you very much. Well, the journey of Cartama actually began 20 years ago. So we have been in the market for quite a while. And what we do at Cartama is that we produce and we develop the avocado industry in Colombia. That's our main job or the focus of our company. We have clients all over the world. We are exporting our products to the United States, to China, to Japan, to Europe. Every year we're just capturing more and more, because the Colombian avocado industry is very interesting. Going back to the weather in Colombia, which is perfect, it allows Colombia to produce avocado almost the entire weeks of the year, at least 52 weeks of the year. So we are, gaining a lot of market options, and year after year, we're just growing. We are a very interesting new player in this avocado market. So yes, it's great. And my job is amazing, Max. I'm very I'm very pleased, to have this position as a Chief Human Resources Officer, because most of the strategies and the definition of our business is right here. We have the responsibility of, creating the correct organizational structure that is going to allow us to do business the Cartama way, which is the right way and the only way to do business. And that is, considering and focusing on shared value, because that's the purpose of Cartama. That's what we have, that's the definition, our definition of getting things Cartama way. So, and this is something that we don't just say, this is something that we do. If you take a look at our organizational structure, you're going to see that everywhere we are habilitating those capacities to be able to develop the industry in Colombia. We have our research and development area, focusing on a lot of things, mainly, of course, bringing new best practice and, learning a lot bit more about Hass avocado. We have, from our suppliers also dedicated to teach them to grow, to have, a better development of their business. And of course, we have, sustainability teams, taking care of the environment, taking care of course, the people. So my job is amazing. I'm very, very happy and very, very pleased.
And what is great about your business is that because of this exponential rise of avocado consumption globally, the fact that you and your colleagues can do so much good with it in respect of your colleagues, in respect of the people that you're employing, in respect of the growers that presumably you're outsourcing to, it's sort of that, like, not being glib about it, but that fresh produce love can be spread throughout. What about this thorny subject about gender equality with the business? Have you looked to create diversity, or is that have you been very lucky? Have you been very fortuitous? Has it just come to you in the business naturally? The whole element of gender equality.
Well, gender equality is something that also concerns us, but our numbers are pretty great. If you take a look at, especially at the chief officers and the mid management, we have around 40 to 45% of gender equality, women. Wow. and men. So we are doing great. Where we have more areas of opportunity is at the base of our structure. We have around 22, 25% of women working at that level of the organization. But we are working on new initiatives since our business is growing fast. We are in the process of creating a whole new packing house, and wow. We are going to we have been making these choices of creating a skill center with new technologies and new ways to do the things, so we can reduce the amount of brute force, and that will allow us to invite more women to work with us. So
Lina, this is fantastic. We'd love to find out more about your business. So if you've got any pictures that you can send to us that we could put up on this broadcast recording, so we could show off your business to everyone internationally, that'd be fantastic. And I love what the work that you're doing, and you've obviously got your eyes set on how you want your business structured internally in respect of the gender equality. So it's a really impressed, Lina. Just stay there. We're going to bring Martha in. Martha, can you come in, please? Here goes Martha.
I am here.
So Martha, I've got to ask, do you like avocados as well?
Oh yes, of course. This is something that we eat in a daily basis in Mexico also.
Excellent. I don't think there's going to be enough avocados to go around. Lina, thank you very much. If you just turn off your video, then we're going to have a catch up with Martha, and Lina, we'll see you in the Q&A a little bit later. So Martha, it's great to have you. Could you give us a bit more of an understanding as to your role within Mexico? So everyone listening in, either on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or the podcast, can fully understand who and what you do within Mexico, please.
Well, we are not really directly in the production industry, but our business is to work with people. We are a Mexican NGO, and we work in key action areas in line with the Sustainable Development Goals, with a vision of transforming our world. Our priorities are focused on solving problems around improving health, education, quality, labor, productivity, and social participation within a framework of gender equality. Grounded in our experience, we developed the framework for facilitating intrinsic empowerment, which operationalized Amartya Sen's Nobel Prize winning, the human capabilities approach. And this strategy is the basis for the design and implementation and evaluation of all of our programs. And all our programs are called I Want, I Can. So recently, our link with this panel is that the agro industry has called us to participate as advisors for facilitate the creation of committees for the fair trade certification, as well as to work with the community diagnosis to help people to decide how to improve the quality of life of agricultural laborers, taking advantage of the fair trade benefits. So we start with this work with the real needs of the population with which we work, identified to our diagnostic studies, and we take into account the social, cultural norms and the education, health, governmental and economic service that are present in the region. So we train replicators in the field to work through workshops, which they can replicate with a target population accompanied by our team. And these workshops are experiential and formative and provide participants with life skills and knowledge about rights and about how to reduce psychosocial barriers and have a better productivity and well-being life in their context.
Martha, I don't think I've met anyone like you. You are so impressive, but I suspect that you wake up every morning wanting to do more. What does this look like? Just like the question I asked Jennie, success. What is success going to be for you and your colleagues in 5 years' time? Where do you want to take your hard work?
Well, our work is focused on behavior change. If we can change the behavior of the people, not just the women, but also to improve the quality of life of the different population that are involved in all the change of productivity, we really can make a change and to empower participants that they are convinced that they have made behavior change to improve their lives, so that they can feel able to make decisions and take responsibility for the consequences of all the things that they are deciding day by day, related with the best choices of food that they have in the nutrition aspects, and also they become agents of change in their families and in their community. And I think this is the thing that we want to improve. To the changes influence the socio-cultural norms in a way that takes into account the common good.
And Martha, I'm just going to ask this question. You've got such a fascinating job, but I bet it's also a very difficult job. And there's a reason for asking this question. Do you ever feel like giving up?
No, I think that we have a lot of work. There are a lot of difficult problems that we need to solve, and we need to work not only in the productive aspects, but also with educators, with community leaders, with health personnel, to work together to achieve this sustainable change through community participation and the intrinsic empowerment of each people. That is the way in which they are going to really make their rights every day. So I think that I never think I'm going to give up. I think that we have more and more work each day, and about the gender aspects is there are a lot of things that we need to take into account. And we need to promote gender equality as a brand as a critical part of violence prevention in general.
Yeah, but fantastic. I think just in our 3-4 minutes together, I've learned such a lot from you. You've given us a masterclass on what you and your colleagues are doing, deploying in Mexico. And the reason for asking the question about, do you ever look to give up? Of course not, because you are not like that. And that's what I'm fascinated with these broadcasts that we do with Global Women Fresh. The thing that I always learned is that none of you want to give up. You just keep going until you make this success. So the success around fresh produce, which is doing good on a global basis, and what you can do with your colleagues to influence people to drive that social change within Mexico, so that we're hopefully buying fresh produce from Mexico and Europe, and likewise in America, because of the influence that you've created, Martha, is fantastic. So Martha, stay there. Barbara, could you come in, please? So Martha, I've just got to ask you, do you like bananas as well? Just going back to Jennie from Canada. So we already know you like avocados. Do you like bananas as well?
Yes, of course. There are.
Oh, fantastic. Barbara, come on, I've got to ask you that question. Avocados or bananas, which would you go for? Martha, thank you.
Hello?
Hello, Barbara. So I was just asking you, what would you prefer, bananas or avocados?
Banana.
Fantastic. And what did you think to Martha? Wasn't she amazing?
Yes, it's really, really amazing what she's playing and she do in her job.
Yes, I'm very privileged. I think we are very privileged to have so many experts on this platform via Julian and Global Women Fresh. So Barbara, could you tell us a bit more about you and your business, please?
Yes, of course. First of all, thank you very much for this invitation. I think it's really important to have the opportunity to speak and to discuss different ideas. And it's a pleasure for us, in the name of Siete Agro Marketing, have the opportunity to talk about women, and in our case, women in the agri-food sector. Because I am journalist. I'm from Siete Agro Marketing, that is a media based on the agri-food sector. And 5 years ago, we set in motion our project, Mujer Agro, vetting on agro professional women in this sector that, as we know, has always been very masculinizated. For this reason, we want to make the importance to have an implementing equality plans in the different companies. And also it's really important to make the role of women visible and vet on more women in position of responsibility. One of our main objectives in Siete Agro Marketing is give visibility to the most vulnerable women, promoting an integration of women at risk of social exclusion and with disabilities with the agri-food sector and rural area. And also we connect with other women's networking from other fields of activities that are being woven around the world.
Wow. Okay. And the project, the Agro project, is it just in Spain? Is it in Europe? Is it all over the world?
This project is here from Spain. We create my agency, Siete Agro Marketing, and we have different actions. One of them is create a forum. It's a kind of meeting, dialogues, and experiences that inspire women and men to promote equality. In this moment, we are preparing our 5 for women professional that it will be next 29 of June in Valencia. It will be a meeting point where women and men will tell how their companies are improving in their incorporation of more and more women.
Wow. Okay. And just like the question I asked the other ladies, what does success look like for you and for your project? Say in 5 years' time, what would you like to see being achieved, please?
It's a good question. Now we are working with a new space, a space of women. We want to deliver into a new initiative of my agency, creating a new space for training and transmission of knowledge and inspiration for another woman, especially basically in this sector, in the agro-food sector.
Wow. Okay. And one key word I've learned over the last year, having done 100 broadcasts, is collaboration. Are you looking for collaboration? Are you looking for companies and other groups and other organizations to work with you, to collaborate with you, to make your project a success?
Yes, of course. This forum I talk about, we have different companies who want to collaborate it with us, because now companies are increase more women in their equality plans. So normal there are a lot of companies that want to collaborate with us with different kind of projects. Sorry.
Okay, and how can we find out about this project? Where do we need to go to find out, please?
You can visit our website, it's mujeragro.es, and we have LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and also Twitter. We have all the social media. So it's very easy to find us.
Excellent. And I checked over the last couple of days getting prepared for this broadcast, and everyone, the project that Barbara and her colleagues are running is amazing. You need to go and have a look at this. And on the broadcast repeats, we'll make sure that we've got it on there. So you're positive that what you've set up is going to make a difference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now I think we've lost Eunice, who was in Kenya. She had some problems in our green room on internet connection. As she said, it wasn't well. Oh, Eunice, are you there? Come on, Eunice, are you going to come back in? Let's see if we can get her back in. Can't at the moment. So what I suggest we do is, if everyone else can come back in, Martha, Lina, Jennie, Julie, if you're there, so we can go roll straight into our Q&A. Julie, what do you think? These ladies, they're inspirational. I'm so impressed with them all. Julie, what do you think?
I love it, Max. I think that, once again, the goal of Global Women Fresh is to be able to present all of these global stories of what each individual country out there is doing to promote gender equality and to promote social impact. It's sometimes, in our business, we get so busy that it's hard to kind of keep track or even know that any of these things are happening. And I think that bringing that awareness globally is really, really important. Yeah.
And there's this word that's going around the UK at the moment, slightly controversial word of greenwashing. So companies or individuals who are stating that they have got a sustainability goal, they've got a diversity goal, and they've got to put a page up on the website to show what they're looking to achieve. And we sort of want to break through that. So question to you all: social impact with a focus on gender equality, can it be achieved? Jennie, let's start with you. Social impact with a focus on gender equality, do you think it can be achieved in our lifetime?
Well, part of the fair trade standards are around gender equity. And it's clear that we've got a ways to go for that to be a lived reality for all women working on fair trade certified plantations or in fair trade certified producer co-ops. But I think it's important from an organizational perspective to have these messages coming to workers, supervisors, co-op members, that women have equal rights at the table, should be paid equally, should be able to enjoy a workplace free of harassment, either verbal or sexual.
Yeah.
And I think that that starts with adherence to a global standard, a global movement like fair trade.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if those are the norms that take place in your workplace, that there will be societal changes in individual families coming from those fair trade standards.
Yeah, Jenny, well said. There's an example I use that in the UK, one of our biggest pension funds has told the 100 biggest companies that they invest in that if they don't have a diversified board by the end of 2022, they're going to remove that funding. So it might be a bit of an aggressive form to drive societal change, but by crikey, it's got those companies awoken to the fact that they've got to change. And it goes back to what Martha was saying earlier as to what she's looking to do with her colleagues by driving this positive change. Martha, do you think in the likes of Mexico and with all of us, do you think we need governments to try and change? Or do you think it's just going to change naturally? What do you think, please, Martha?
Well, I think that we need to have a global strategy, and it's important to include the different sectors of the country, starting young and preventing school drop out of girls, to building life skills and changing social norms with both boys and girls is a starting point in which the government needs to be involved, and also the companies to make improvements in the schools that are around the area of influence of a big company or a big agro park. It's very important to work with the schools and to work with youths as a change agents, the youth promoters who reach their peers to school-based strategies, and also to work with parents. So it's a lot of strategies that needs to go together in a general strategy to really make change in the communities, to community commitments, and also to get the men on board and changing norms to support women access to the different services and to have example reproductive health services that are very, very important in some marginal and vulnerable areas. So I think that it needs to put together many strategies, as well as the media. That is very important to catalyzing inclusive language through social media and making visible gender norms in mass media, and fomenting solidarity among women. And so there are a lot of aspects that need to be taken into account to really make a change.
Martha, thank you. So it feels like this isn't going to happen overnight, but I don't know if I might be the optimist that I am, but it does feel that there is a positive change happening. And if anything, there is going to be a positive from the pandemic, that everyone knows that to be better in, God forbid, another pandemic, we need to eat well. And how do we eat well? We eat more fresh produce. So if the consumer is eating more fresh produce, the business, the industry is going to do well. And what a great opportunity that is for all of you and all of your different countries and structures for that to go through. Barbara.
And Max, if I may, I just want to say also is kind of all the importance of the role of countries like Mexico and Colombia, in Peru and Chile and other places in South America, what the role of feeding the world. So when you look at the trade between those countries and what they're doing into the US, Europe, and Asia, it's huge. So it's critical that retailers such as Walmart and Kroger and Costco and all the big retailers of the world pay attention at organizations such as the one Martha is running in Mexico, because it is really critical of what they're doing there, with the women who work at the farm level, and how do they really secure not only the women, but also the men and women, but it's really looking at the entire supply chain, and how do you, consumers and retailers and everyone in the supply chain, make sure that we're doing the right thing.
So Julie, it's not going to work because shareholders, because the likes of Walmart, let's pick on Walmart, they just want to make money. They make more money selling Pop-Tarts and fizzy drinks than they do out of Jennie's bananas. How can we influence those retailers who are selling 85% of fruit and veg globally? How can we influence them to engage with you or more, to do good, but they might not be making the same money as they were selling an energy drink? Julie?
Well, I think the global retailers are finally paying attention, and they're paying attention, quite honestly, because the consumers are also asking for it. Millennials and Generation Z, they're saying, you have to look at the planet, you have to look at sustainability, you have to look at all these things. Now, it is a process, and this is why kind of hopefully these activities, it's really important to call the attention. I know that organizations like Martha in Mexico have been doing some work with such as Walmart and others. I personally have done a lot of work with other retailers who are paying attention to what companies are doing at the farm level, to secure that you don't have, any kids working at the farm, that's, the fair trade certifications and so on. So I think we're moving towards that direction. More needs to happen. And it will continue to happen more as consumers demand for it. And the consumer also needs to be willing to pay for that, because all of that has an incredible impact, financial impact to the farm level, to the companies who are actually doing all the work. So the consumers also need to be able to put our hands in our pockets and pay for that extra certification, for that extra story, and so on, to be able to give back to the community.
Yeah, but I go back to my example of my coffee from a Starbucks. Other brands are available at £3, $3, or fresh produce. What's actually, if you're buying fresh produce, it's actually, to me, doing more good for society than it is buying an overpriced coffee. Lina, have you looked to engage with the retailers? And if you have they looked? Do they understand your message? Do they understand the change that you're trying to make in your business? Do they understand, Lina?
Of course, they understand, and our business is more business to business type of company. But I think that there are a lot of requests of certifications. That you have rainforest, you have SMETA, you have GRASP, you have Global Gap, and I think that that's a way to really move every company to engage in social impact, right? I think that retailers and the consumers globally, as Julie just spoke, are gaining that grade of conscience. So it is really going to help us achieve our goals. You asked something about related to how do we know if we are succeeding in this social impact. And, for us at Cartama, we are, committed to, when we reach out a community, when we work with them, when we give, high quality employment for that community, the way for us to know if we are doing the right things is that development remains even after we leave, if we leave that community.
Brilliant.
That would be a perfect way to know that we're having the impact that we want.
Fantastic. And Barbara, with your marketing expertise, can you see it changing? Can you see the retailers looking to engage with more fresh produce companies rather than big brands like power drinks? Do you think that we will see this change, Barbara?
Yes, I think that different companies now are changing. It's not an easy way to do, but in communication and marketing, I think so. It's time to change. And also, as I told, incorporates more women in different type of marketing or communication, like director or young people also.
Yeah. So to everyone, what Global Women Fresh is not a talking shop, and Beanstalk is not a talking shop. Julie, if you remember, one of the first conversations that we ever had when we looked to create this partnership was that we wanted to create the conversation, not be part of the conversation. With the experts that we've got on today, what would you all like to see? What would you all like to change so that we can drive forward this gender equality via the amazing fresh produce sector? Go on, Julie, you go first, please.
For me, it's critical not to wait 200 years to achieve gender equality. So it has to come earlier, and that's what I stand and I wake up every morning to make sure that companies in our industry pay attention and make actions to change that within their internal companies.
Wow. Okay. And Julie, I know I can ask you this question. Do you think it's achievable?
Well, we're working towards that. So if hopefully it's not the 200 years, is we're going to achieve it in the 50, 60 years, but it's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work. And then the work starts at, government level, private, non-private, and down below.
Excellent. Jennie, come on, what would you, as I said, we're not creating a talking shop here. We want to create change. What would you like to see change to drive forward this gender equality through fresh produce?
Yeah, we just need more. We need more women represented. We need, we're all here, women talking about the need for change. We need men to be also at this table, listening to us and making, concrete proposals about how they are going to see a world where they change the way they approach women in the produce industry. We sometimes get talked down to, like we're just little girls with a Girl Guide project. We're not. We're running a global company. We're building a large consumer brand, and yeah, I think it shocks some people in the industry, and we want to stop the shock. We want this just to be normal.
Stop the shock. There we go. What a great phrase. Martha, you've already achieved so much, but I know that your road is a long one. What would you like to see change in the short term, please, Martha?
Well, I think that the rise and the gender equity in the productive area is an open door to also include gender equity, not only in the workplace, but also at home. But sometimes at the workplace, there are rules and things that are changing, but not it's not the same at home. So we need to expand the changes that also women can have this equity in the daily role with the children and in all the areas of their lives, and not only maybe at the workplace where there are some rules that are running, but how to expand this to the daily life. So this is the next step if we start with the workplace.
Fantastic. Thank you, Martha. Lina, if I could give you a magic wand to create this change of bettering gender equality, what would you do with my magic wand?
I think that, I think everything begins at home, Max. I think that we need to be conscious and aware of the difficulties, we have as women, what's going on with society. So with that magic wand, I think I would just open every woman's eyes, to learn and to understand, but most importantly, to act.
Got it. Fantastic. And Barbara, what would you do? What change do you want to see in the short term, please, Barbara?
Good idea. I think we have to work together. companies, agencies, cooperatives, and different unions in this sector, we have to work together for equality, making women visibility, not only professional women, but also rural women, young women, and director work together is the key.
Fantastic. Everyone, we're slightly running out of time. Eunice, it is fantastic to have you back in, but we lost you. I'm sure it's because of your internet connection. What we'll do is, and I'm sure Julie's will be okay with this, you and I will do a one-off broadcast at a later date, because we want to find out about everything about you and Select Fresh Produce in Kenya. Because we've run out of time, we're not going to let you go. We're going to find out more about you and your amazing business. But Eunice, what change would you like to see on gender equality? What change would you like to see, please, Eunice?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry about that. Yes, so the change I'd like to see is more women being appreciated as leaders in the world. Like I think Jennie was alluding to, sometimes we are not taken seriously. And so just women, just being given a seat in the decision-making rooms, and their decisions being taken seriously across the world is something that we'd like to see happen more often. And of course, deliberate decisions to make sure that women take up key leading positions, in the relevant sectors. I think that would be something that I'd love to see more happening more. Especially in Africa. Thank you.
No problem. So everyone, we're just about to run out of time, but Eunice, as I say, I'll make contact behind the scenes and we'll get you set up. I'm sure Julie will be okay with it. We'll do a one-off broadcast with you on behalf of Global Women Fresh, so we can find out so much about Select Fresh in Kenya. So just to wrap up, everyone, please could you tell us and everyone listening in on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on the podcast, on YouTube, as to why Global Women Fresh has been beneficial to you and your business. Jennie, can you go first, please?
Just getting involved with Global Women Fresh. I'm really excited to become involved with this global network to connect to my sisters around the world. And I'm on the beginning of this journey, looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Lina, well, what are your views of Global Women Fresh, please?
Same as Jennie. We are very, very happy to be involved and to be part of such an amazing initiative at a global perspective. So very happy and proud.
Thank you. Barbara, what are your views of Global Women Fresh, please?
I completely agree with my colleagues. It's a fantastic initiative, and also it's a pleasure for us to have the opportunity to participate and dialogue and discuss different topics and different opinions.
Excellent. Well done, Barbara. Martha, what benefits have you found being associated with Global Women Fresh, please?
Well, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to know the different challenges that we need to face in this area, and also to offer our experience in this field. And we can find us as Yo Quiero, Yo Puedo, I want, I can. And I think that we need to put together all this experience and all the challenges that we have in this field to improve to contribute to how to support women and women voices and participation in all the fields.
Fantastic, Martha. And Eunice, I know you've only been on for a short period of time, but has Global Women Fresh, has it assisted you in your business?
Absolutely. I just want to thank you, Julie, for the impact that you've had in our business and even in Africa, in Kenyan businesses. I think global trade is very dynamic and requires a lot of networking given the situation we have across the world of COVID-19. So physical interactions have been very difficult. And I think Global Women Fresh has helped us network a great deal and be able to even secure business transactions that are going to transform our own companies. So yeah, thank you very much, Global Women Fresh. Max, thank you.
Excellent. So I think what we're going to do is, on the basis that we're going to positively wrap up now, I'd love to give you all new roles. And Martha, I'd love to make you head of the United Nations. I think that is your destiny, to be head of there. I'm going to make Barbara the head of marketing for fresh produce globally. I'm going to make Jennie master controller of bananas on a global basis, and to get us all to eat fair trade bananas. There we go, fantastic. Lina, you are going to run all avocados, and you are going to double the size of production and consumption of avocados. Eunice, you're taking over Africa. You're going to make Africa the new hotbed of fresh produce globally. And Julie, you're going to be the chairperson, and you're just going to watch this success that you've created. Julie, could you wrap up for us, please, on this subject of social impact with a focus on gender equality? Could you wrap up for us, please, Julie?
Absolutely. I just want to say really thank you to all of the participants today. It's difficult sometimes with time zones, with language, with cultures, but I think that all of us are very committed to one common goal. And the same thing for you, Max. Thank you for providing the platform to have this dialogue. And we invite all of the global companies to reach out to globalwomenfresh.com. We want to share the stories. We want to share the stories of sustainability, of social impact, of women who are actually doing some change. So thank you again, and we look forward to the next session.
Excellent. So 2 messages to wrap up with. If you're not already a member, join Global Women Fresh to make that difference. And if you are in the sector as a business, come and partner with them, come and sponsor with them, come and be part of this fundamental change that Julie, her colleagues, and all of these lovely, amazing ladies are making for the global fresh produce sector. Everyone, thank you very much. It's been fantastic. Eunice, we'll see you at the next broadcast. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
look after yourselves.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for all
Bye,
this
bye, bye, bye,
great
bye.
energy.
Thank you, Max. Thank you.